Hello YouTube viewers and random Ghostbusters fans, it's day 3 of Ghostbusters week, so today I'll be taking a look at the 6-inch MattyCollector.com figure of Winston Zeddemore. Now Winston is responsible for one of my all-time favourite quotes in the entirety of the Ghostbusters movies.
That's a big Twinkie.
Anyway, let's take a look at the packaging, which obviously is the same as all the packaging that we've seen so far, so I'm not going to really delve too deep in it. You've got the Ghostbusters logo at the top, Winston Zeddemore there, written at the bottom. The box is adorned on either side by the Terror Dogs there, and in the background you've got Marshmallow Man. I do, again, like the dynamic poses here the figures are in, and the packaging looks very, very nice, especially if you want to keep them on display just in their box. That looks really, really great. Flipping around to the back of the box, again, very, very similar. So you've got that messy office desk effect at the top with the Ghostbusters logo there. Down at the bottom, some of the other figures in the range, and of course you've got the little personnel file here, which has some specifics on Zeddemore, which looks really, really nice, and includes lots of little features, including the fact that he used to be he's an ex-Marine and an ex-cab driver, and loads of other little interesting bits of information there too. So that's nice, I do appreciate that. But anyway, that's enough about the box. Let's open it up and take a little look-see at the Zeddemore figure. Alrighty, so here we go. The face sculpt on this figure is by far one of the best face sculpts I've seen on these 6-inch figures. It really does look like Ernie Hudson. You can see a great likeness to him in that face sculpt. I really do like the expression on his face too, and I love his brow line up here at the top, because you actually see creases and wrinkles in his forehead here, which all adds to the expression on his face. That looks really, really nice. You can also see he's got his mustache on there, the definition of his cheekbones there as well, and the eyes, all looks really, really nice. The hair sculpt too looks really great on there. Really does look like his hair from the actual film. That looks very, very nice. So the face sculpt does look fantastic, and like I say, it's one of the best face sculpts I've seen from these Matty Collector 6-inch figures. Apart from that, this is pretty much a basic re-release of the Ray Stantz figure. It's the same body pretty much, with the only subtle differences, of course, being the fact that the name has changed there on the name tag to Zeddemore, and obviously his hands are ungloved, because you can see the gloves hanging there on his belt. And if you take a look there at the hands, you can see there's just basically a basic repaint of the Ray Stantz hands there, because they've all got the same amount of detail and stuff on them. He's still got the clear hose here running out of the back of his jumpsuit there as well, and the boots are tucked in, and you can see the laces on the boots there too. Also, he's got the proton pack on, which again is the same as all the other proton packs, and is detailed in a similar fashion. It looks really, really nice. The one difference I can see here is the actual proton gun itself. If I pop it off here and let you take a look, you can see they've added little tiny silver bits of paint onto it there. So you can see some of the details stands out a lot better on this proton gun, as opposed to some of the other proton guns that have been released. So I do like that. That's a nice little touch that Matty have decided to include on this figure. Let me just see if I can pop it back on. There we are. But apart from that, that's kind of it really for details. So if you take that look there, you can see the Ghostbusters logo, and likewise you can see all the creases and wrinkles and that sort of thing in the actual jumpsuit. So the detail, as per usual, is excellent, and I particularly love this face sculpt. So articulation-wise, it's the same story all over again. The head can do the full 360 twist, can turn side to side and nod up and down. The shoulder here's got full 360, and this really stiff 90-degree ball joint here, so it allows the arm to come out. You've got full 360 twist there on the actual forearm here, and it can bend in and out at 90 degrees, and also there's full 360 on the wrist. Let's see if I can pop this down here because it's a little tough. There we are. Again, just like the Stantz figure, there is waist articulation, but I wouldn't advise spinning at the full 360, because some of his little accessories on his belt here can scrape on the bottom of the proton pack and cause a bit of damage, so I'd just be a bit careful if you're using the waist articulation. And again, lots of great articulation in the legs here, so the leg can come out sideways here, forward roughly about 45 degrees, and there's 45 degrees on the knee itself. At the top of the leg there's a joint, so that allows the leg to spin the full 360, and likewise there's now a 360 degree joint at the top of the boot, and a nice little bit of ankle pivot here, which aids whenever you have the figure standing up on display out of its packaging. So when it comes to articulation, it is very, very nice. So when it comes to accessories, Winston comes with this little trap, which as you can see is lovingly detailed. So you can see around the edges here, it's got all these little gadgets and various little gizmos there, just like it has in the actual movie. So that looks really, really good. And even on the top there, if you take a look, it's got those yellow and black hazard stripes, and also a little handle there too. Then this wire which runs off it to a little foot pump here, and the foot pump is detailed equally well. It doesn't actually press down or anything like that, but the actual detail on it looks sublime. It looks really, really nice. And the best thing about this trap as well is that there's two little tabs on either side of it, and when you press these down, you can actually open the trap up, and that just looks really, really nice. And to make things even better, would you believe, they've also included this little plastic ball of energy as well, which you can tab onto the trap. Now let me see if I can do this. There we are. So that looks really, really nice. So you can have the trap actually open with this energy flowing out of it, as though it's, you know, in the process of catching a ghost. So that looks really, really great. The only downside though is that it makes the trap very top heavy. So if you try and put it up on display, sometimes you'll get it falling over, sometimes you won't. Especially if you want to have the foot pump sitting the right way up, because as you can see, because of the wire connecting the two, sometimes the foot pump will go to one side and sometimes the trap will fall over too. And this is true even if you don't have this ball of energy attached to the trap. So that's kind of a downside. I don't really like that too much. And of course, being a 6-inch figure, Zeddemore fits in very nicely with the other Ghostbusters from the Matty Collector 6-inch line. So all in all, what do I think of this figure? Well, it's the same as all the other figures really. The detail on it looks absolutely wonderful, same as the articulation. The face sculpt, I have to admit, is probably the best face sculpt that I've seen out of all these little 6-inch Matty Collector figures. It bears such a striking resemblance to Ernie Hudson, it's incredible. The proton pack's on there as well, it looks the same, it looks great too. I like those little additional touches of silver paint on the proton gun, it looks excellent. As far as accessories go, I love the trap. I think it's very well detailed, it looks great, and it's definitely an essential when it comes to any Ghostbuster figure, so I'm glad they've included one with Zeddemore here. I love as well that the little trap doors actually have hinges on them, so you can open up the trap and have it on display that way. It looks really great. I also like the idea that they've included this little ball of energy here, which can, you know, be tabbed into the trap and looks like it's in the process of catching a ghost. However, it does make the trap very top heavy, like I said before. But apart from that, it's perfect, and I would definitely recommend it. And like I say, the face sculpt looks absolutely excellent. And what else can I say about the box that hasn't been said already? I think it looks glorious. So that does it for this review. Thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's countless more reviews online. Thank you very much for watching. Remember to keep following the nerd and stay tuned, because tomorrow I'll be reviewing the Egon Spengler 6-inch figure. He's the brains of the operation, but is it a no-brainer whether or not to buy this figure? Find out next time.
That's a big twink. That's a big twink. That's a big twink. That's a big twink. 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 That's a big twink.
According to this morning's sample, it would be a Twinkie 35 feet long, weighing approximately 600 pounds.
That's a big twink. That's a big twink. That's a big. That's a big twink. Twink. That's a big twink. Big twink. That's a big twink. Big twink. Tell him about the Twinkie.
What about the Twinkie?